The ocean is not a place of water, it is a place of secrets that the sun has never seen. In 2024, a private deep-sea mapping expedition picked up a signal that shouldn't exist. The sonar didn't return a flat image of the seabed, it returned the silhouette of a canopy, massive, structured, and perfectly aligned grid of vertical pillars, 10,000 meters deep, where the pressure is enough to crush titanium. Something is growing, and it's not biological, at least not as we know it. Look closely at the screen right now. The images you are about to see are being suppressed globally. To understand the vertical forest, you have to understand the silence. The place NASA found before they suddenly stopped looking at our oceans. Most life on Earth stops at 6,000 meters. Below that, the world becomes a graveyard of marine snow and crushing stillness. But as the Prometheus 4 began its final descent, the sensors went haywire. The temperature didn't drop, it began to rise. The water didn't get murkier, it became impossibly clear. As the floodlights cut through the eternal black, the first one appeared. A trunk, rough, dark, and textured exactly like ancient oak bark. Then another, and 100 more. Towering 500 meters into the abyss, disappearing into the dark above. This isn't a coral reef. This isn't a rock formation. It is a forest. A majestic, terrifying, and impossible woodland at the bottom of the world. If you saw this through a window, you would think you were in a park at twilight. The branches are thick, heavy with what looks like emerald green moss. The leaves are wide, shimmering in the artificial light of the drone. It is a dark, ambient sanctuary that feels more religious than scientific. There is a peace here that defies the violence of the surface world. You can almost hear the wind rustling through the leaves, except there is no wind. There is only the slow, rhythmic pulse of the deep-sea currents. Pause the video right here and look at the texture of the branches. They felt like they had found the Garden of Eden. But then the drone moved closer to a single leaf, and the majesty turned into pure, unadulterated horror. Stop for a second and look at your own hand. You know what skin feels like? You know what a pulse feels like? When the Prometheus 4 touched that leaf, it didn't crunch. It flinched. Under 4K magnification, the truth was revealed. The bark wasn't wood. It was a calcified, multi-layered membrane of living tissue. The leaves weren't photosynthetic organs. There were millions of translucent sensory cilia, flickering like the nerves of a giant eye. The vertical forest isn't a forest at all. It is an imitation. It is a biological structure that has evolved to mimic the aesthetics of a terrestrial forest. Why would the most isolated place on Earth try to look like a park on the surface? Answer in the comments. Is it trying to lure us in, or is it mocking us? As the drone reached the roots, the team discovered the scale of the anomaly. The trees aren't separate entities. They are all connected by a glowing blue fiber network buried in the sediment. Electric pulses move through these roots every 3 seconds, the same frequency as a human heartbeat, the same frequency as the Earth's electromagnetic resonance. The vertical forest is a processor. Every tree is a server. Every leaf is a sensor. It is collecting data from the movements of the tides and the core's heat. The ocean isn't just a body of water. It is a planetary-scale biological computer, and we are just the bacteria living on its outer shell. This is why NASA stopped their deep-sea programs. They didn't find monsters. They found the OS. They found the system that actually runs this planet. 6 hours after these images were transmitted, the expedition was shut down. Not by the company, by the Navy. The coordinates for the vertical forest have been scrubbed from every public map. If you go to Google Earth right now, you will see a blurred patch in the trench. They tell us they are protecting the environment, but they are protecting the interface. Think about the recent anomalies in our global climate. The forest is processing something new, is reacting to the damage we have done to the surface. And a computer that discovers a virus always initiates a purge. The recent underwater cable cuts aren't accidents. The system is beginning to disconnect. If you were standing in that forest right now, would you feel like a guest? Or would you feel like a bug in the code? The next time you look at the ocean, don't think about the fish. Think about the trees. Think about the machine that is breathing beneath you. Subscribe if you want to see the files they couldn't delete before they find us. But I see it in the comments if you believe the ocean is alive. The forest is growing and it's almost at the surface. Don't go back into the water. But let's talk about the data we weren't supposed to recover. Inside the thermal vents at the base of the forest, the drones picked up audio, not the sound of bubbles or tectonic shifts, the sound of rhythmic, synthesized humming. Imagine a hum so low it vibrates your teeth. A hum that matches the exact frequency of the human brain during deep sleep. The vertical forest isn't just watching us, it is broadcasting. Scientists who analyzed the decrypted pulses found something terrifying. The forest isn't just storing geological data, it is storing us. Digital echoes of human radio waves, internet traffic, and satellite transmissions from 1954 to today. Every memory humanity has uploaded to the cloud is being mirrored in the abyss. It is a backup drive for a species that is about to be deleted. Think about that for a moment. Why would a biological computer need a backup of a virus, unless it's preparing to reset the simulation? The deeper we went, the more the architecture changed. Beyond the trees, there are structures that look like cathedrals, pillars of fused bone and quartz, housing glowing orbs of pure energy. These are the heat sinks of the machine. The ocean is cooling the processor. As we heat the planet, the processor is starting to overclock. The storms we see today aren't just weather, they're the steam from an engine that is working too hard. If the vertical forest reaches a critical temperature, it won't just purge us. It will shut down the magnetosphere. It will leave us defenseless against the sun. This is why they don't want you to look down. They want you focused on the stars, on Mars, on anything but the ground beneath you. Because if you realize the Earth is an active entity with its own agenda, you might realize we are not the masters of this world. We are the parasitic load on a system that is losing patience. Look at the footage again. The way the branches sway without a current. The way the light from the drone reflects off the cilia like diamonds. It is beautiful. It is perfect. It is the most advanced technology in the known universe. And it is buried under 10 kilometers of salt and silence. Waiting for the signal to finish the task. If you are still watching, you are now part of the leak. You can't unsee the forest. You can't forget the pulse. Tonight, when you try to sleep, you will hear that hum in your mind. It's not your imagination. It's the connection. The vertical forest has detected you. Stay safe, stay dry, and never, ever look into the trench.